9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Say his name and he appears. I believe it said.
What's up, good people? If you hear the sound of my voice, that means it's Monday, and you know exactly what that means. It's time for the Monday Nightmare Raw post show with your boy. And we had a good episode today. I'm not going in front. It took a little while. I'm sorry I'm getting to you guys a little bit late on the East Coast. Of course, a little bit late on the West Coast, too. It's about 9. I didn't get off work till about 7 today. Very long day for your mayor. But I wanted to make sure we came with you guys equipped with everything to talk about Monday Night Raw. We're going to be consistent on this train going forward. And while we're kicking off the Luchador tournament from the AAA Superstars to come over and take on Roman Reigns in Mexico City in a few weeks, that was a good part of the show. And we got some more depth. I think there's a lot more spacing in the show now and doesn't feel as drawn out as it was leading into SummerSlam. So I'm happy to see that we're getting some more storylines built out, some more new rivalries building in the women's division, and hopefully by the time Money in the Bank rolls around, we'll have some good action. So let's jump into it. We opened up the show with Solo Sikoa. Didn't think he would start the show. I think Solo is quietly now a member of the, well, without getting into the spoilers about the end of the show, quietly a member of the Raw roster now. Has been on Raw multiple weeks, even before SummerSlam for that 6-man tag. And he pretty much just called out his family, just making fun of his family. Prompted a response from Jey to come out. They have a war of words. This is like Solo in his element, more so than what we saw in NXT. Like him being kind of happy-go-lucky, poking fun at his brothers. But this feels different. He feels like he's more comfortable with this type of character. All in all, this led to what was the main event tonight, which was a singles match between main event Jey Uso and his younger brother Solo. If Jey wins, Solo comes back to the bloodline. If Jey loses and Solo wins, Solo gets left alone for good. Now, I wonder if we would have got that outcome if that meant he would have went back to SmackDown. But best moment of this segment, Solo Sikoa taking the warning shot and ducking and asking if anybody got shot and anybody get hit. Comedy gold. And a little bit of spoiler, I'm going to miss that comedy gold we've been getting from Solo Sikoa the past 2 months. Great segment to set up the rest of the show. A lot of stuff was built around the show based on this opening segment. And then we get to our first action of the day, which is the #1 contendership to face Roman Reigns in Mexico City on Monday Night Raw next month. Penta versus Laredo Kid. This is going to be a beautiful part of Monday Night Raw for the next few weeks, just because we're getting to showcase AAA talent, like legit AAA talent, on Monday Night Raw. Since the AAA merger or purchase has happened, you've gotten talent to go to AAA, but not often is that crossover happening on main roster program. I think it's happened with El Hijo del Wagner and Ethan Page, but that was the only thing I can recall. Good match, but I think once we saw the brackets, we knew what was up. Penta was able to get a victory after the Mexican Destroyer. He moves on to the tournament, and I think once you see that bracket and you see Penta up here and Rey Fenix down here, and it's like, you would hope you get to see the Lucha Brothers take on each other in WWE, and I feel like that's where we're headed. I know next week we got La Parka taking on Dragon Lee, which will be interesting. We did see Dragon Lee backstage, and he got a match set up tonight, which wasn't advertised for the card at first. He took on Dom Mysterio after Dominic Mysterio, rightfully, because we were all curious about why he wasn't in the tournament. And Ray promptly said, hey, I didn't think you wanted another handout. That's why you are the way you are now. Dragon Lee said he wants to beat some respect into Dominic Mysterio, which we got that match later on in the show as a result of that. But breakout performance from Laredo Kid. Big future for him. Next up, we had some backstage segments. I think was it Kathy Lee or was it Jackie? Or was it Byron? I feel like we saw all three of them backstage this tonight. We got to see the Vision backstage. Austin Theory talking about how much of how much beneath the Alpha Academy is to the Vision, and then actually it was Byron. That's who it was. Um, just a segment to show off Austin Theory and Maxine, truthfully, and showcase what the Vision looks like now without Paul Heyman. The interesting part of this segment ahead of this match with Theory and Tozawa was Braun Breaker looking stone cold as he did last week. Pretty much looking like he's second guessing himself, looking like he's kind of fed up with the antics of Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And then also Byron asked him because Theory and Paul Maxine walked off and Breaker's just standing there, cold as day. And he asked Breaker if he has a question, and Breaker responds with a response of a question asking like, "Hey Byron, what do you think of Obafemi?" He said, do you think Obafemi's the future of WWE?" He said, "Well, I think a lot of people are saying that he's the future of WWE. Like Brock Lesnar is the one that said he's the future of WWE." And he said, "Oh, well, you sound like Paul," and walked off. Which leads us to our match. Nice wrinkle, because I feel like the Vision has been using Braun Breaker's music for the intros for like the past 2 months, just quietly. They did, I guess, the Vision music, or I don't know if that's Theory's music, but good that they switched it up so it's not doesn't just feel like Braun Breaker's faction all of a sudden. But we got Theory and Tozawa. Great match. I like that Tozawa got to showcase himself as a single star here. We needed more of that. I think we forget that how Tozawa held down the Cruiserweight division and held down 205 Live for so long, because it was, man, was this like a decade ago? I don't know how long ago it was, but he is a valid single star that's been stuck in purgatory and then tag team action now for so long. So this is good to just see him have a match and showcase everything he could do. Unfortunately, Austin Theory did win this match clean after hitting, they call it like lights out. I don't know what they called it, but Austin Theory hit him with a stiff forearm, like a ripcord forearm, which was fun to see. Austin Theory is a great wrestler, and I'm really hoping that this version of him with Maxine helps push him further into like the star he can be. I still don't feel like it's much of himself that he's playing when he utilizes how he is in the Vision right now. I feel like he's destined to be a babyface and do those type of things, but this is his character now. We'll see what the trajectory is, but what happened post-match is what sets up the rest of this angle, and probably the biggest angle of tonight, if I'm being honest, is Austin Theory goes to attack Tozawa more after the match. Similar to what they did to Joe Hendry, I think a couple weeks ago now. And staff, security, whatever, Adam Pearce, they all come out and stop Theory from doing so. Braun goes to the ring to set up the spear on Tozawa, which prompted the music of the ruler. Say his name and he appears. I mean, I guess it's Oba's thing now. And the shot of Oba, just the silhouette in the blue light, and then they even showed his shadow in the arena in Norfolk. Beautiful, beautiful touches to like what this character is going to be. And Oba marches to the ring, makes light work of Theory, who ran up, and then he also gets into the ring with Braun Breaker. Then everybody gets between them, and you just have this big fight feel of like, okay, we're going to tease this, but we're not going to do it right now. But we're showing you what's going to happen soon. And I wonder how long they're going to allow these back and forth segments to happen until they let these two men tangle up with each other, or if they're going to save it for a big PLE, because like it seems like it's too big for Saturday night's main event on September 6th. If I'm being honest, it feels like it's too big for Money in the Bank. And I just don't know how much they're going to tease this and when they'll actually do it. And I approve of this because this is actually a really dope side quest. Like, we know Oba took out Brock Lesnar, and he still has his rightful title match. Whether it's going to be Roman or Punk, we don't know. But this feels like a good side quest. Like, the Brock Lesnar stuff felt like it was drawn out. It should have been one and done at Mania. They drawn it out 3 matches. this feels like a very meaningful side quest for Oba. And it also helps pull Braun Breaker out of obscurity, who was like really who we saw like at that tier not that long ago. So I feel like it's a good move for both parties, and I hope they do it on the right stage because it's such a huge match. And honestly, I would hold this off until Survivor Series and outside of the two War Games matches, make it feel like really meaningful having Oba versus Braun Breaker, who's the future of WWE. What's up, Annette? How you doing? And yeah, I'm gonna get to that women's tag team match very soon. But that was a great match with Tozawa and Austin Theory, and I'm pretty sure we'll see more with the Vision taking on Alpha Academy, and Otis will be returning soon. But really dope to see Tozawa like get his flowers because he's been with the company a very long time, and it was just good to see him get a singles match. Next, we had a segment. Before I get to this segment, I want to talk about what happened backstage. Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker did have a segment backstage. Paul, always lovely to see Braun Breaker, I'm sure. He asked Paul a question like, you saw what happened again. Obafemi got in my face. He's like, Paul, do you think that Obafemi is the future of WWE? He said, well, Brock Lesnar said Obafemi is the future of WWE. And they just had this weird standoff. And Paul pretty much said, well, like, what are you going to do about it? Type thing. So I think it's going to lead to this thing where Heyman pulls Braun Breaker away from the Vision. I mean, they had the little Heyman guy stuff in NXT, and Braun Breaker's going to be his like next Heyman guy. We'll see. But there's so many layers to this Oba and Braun Breaker stuff that, again, we have lightning in a bottle, and hopefully they do it right. And yeah, that was probably the worst part of this showcase for Austin Theory is that Oba just packed him up easily with just like not even a super kick. It was like half of a big boot, and he was out of there. So we'll see what happens. And we can't forget that Bronson Reed should be back sometime soon as well. We'll hear from Stephanie Vaquer, who returned last week after months of being out of action to take out the Judgment Day with Liv Morgan, and she's pretty much tonight made her mission clear. She's back to get her title. She's back to beat the shit out of Liv, but she's going to take out each member of the Judgment Day one by one. Raquel, Roxy, and then Liv said that Roxanne, you can get it. Raquel, I've beat you many times. I'll do it again. And Liv, like, your ass is mine, which prompted Becky Lynch to come out. And Becky's inclusion in this women's division for the world title is very interesting because she sounds kind of like how her beef is not with Liv. Her beef is with the women's division. And it sounds like she's saying that the women's division is being held back. And she said, hey, Liv's not doing nothing with it. Stephanie, you didn't do anything with it. The title belongs to me because I can kind of take it to new heights type of feel. And she even took shots at Stephanie's injury, saying, like, I don't know if you're some badass that's rushing to get back because you want to fight, or if your body's giving up when your mind doesn't know how to. And that was like such a deep cut. I'm like, damn, okay. Saying that you didn't do anything with the title. That title belongs to me. And it's almost like a parallel to what Grayson Waller said about the men's division NXT, but it's like, it doesn't sound like something a Becky character would say. It sounds like something that I've heard Charlotte would say, but it's probably going to lead to a triple threat. I don't know if we're going to pull the belt off Liv because she's promo work and everything is good. She just showed up in AAA just this past weekend. I think it's meant to put a shot in the arm in the women's division, having Becky back and not going after the IC belt, but going after the women's world title. But it's very interesting. Great promo work from Vaquer. I think we want to see more of that from her. That she can stand on her own too in a promo battle. And I'm pretty sure we'll have more back and forth with her and Becky Lynch. But Becky Lynch being in a world title picture, maybe it's a good thing for the Raw women's division. And the fact that that she's still tweening, she's not babyface, she's not exactly heel, she's just here because she feels like she has to carry this division. And I think that's a good thing. Can I just say it sucks how it seems to confirm that they put a pause in the division until Vaquer return. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, that's 100% what happened, and unfortunately, it took place over the entire summer. Like it played out in real time. That we didn't have movement because that's the story right there. We could have elevated so many other people. We could have had open challenges. Well, we know we don't really like open challenges, but there's so many things we could have done to keep the women's division going forward in that time frame. And it makes it feel like, okay, did we eclipse 100 days just to drop it to Vaquer? Or maybe is that why Becky's in the division now, to give us that curveball and add more star power to it? I don't know. I have no idea. And yeah, we ought to talk about EO in a second. Next up, we had Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off here. Dragon Lee won this match, and I don't know what we're doing with Dom, because the reports are out that Dom was unhappy with his presentation on WWE programming versus programming in AAA. Very different. AAA Mega Champion. He rocks the belt proudly across all brands. I just found out that Dom hasn't won a WWE match, I think, since June was the metric. And maybe we had Dragon Lee win this match because he's still in the tournament. He's going to be taking on La Parca next week. But the losses for Dominic, while still positioning him as this like threat in AAA, now having Omos by his side, very weird. Very weird. Two parallel worlds that are showing up, and it's not making Dominic Mysterio look like any type of major player when you talk about the future of WWE being Oba, being Braun Breaker. Even look at Trick Williams with Carmelo Hayes. Like, Dom is right there. It was arguably like a very big star. It still is. So very interesting that he's taking all these clean losses. Wonder what you got. What do you guys think of that? I thought that was very interesting once I saw the stat that he hasn't won a match in so long. But what happened after the bell was a more telling thing, because Big Cass made a beeline for Dragon Lee, takes out Dragon Lee with a big boot. Don't know what we're doing here. Told you guys last week. After all those vignettes and the presentation for Big Cass, I thought it would mean more if he took out a champion. I'm not saying he has to go full Roman, but he could have went for Chad Gable. I thought it would have been kind of badass if he gunned for Oba. Doesn't say he has to beat Oba, but he's kind of taking on everybody that I see like smaller than him. And even Corey Graves said, hey, yeah, consecutive weeks you've attacked people after they had a match. This prompted Javon Evans to come back and try to get his lick back. He got the upper hand for a little bit, but still it just wasn't Big Cash just being too much. Took out Javon Evans. And then the tagline is like, hey, he's not here for anything personal. He's just here to stack bodies. But why? Why Javon Evans? Why Dragon Lee? That promo last week backstage wasn't enough for me to say, like, hey, we've spent all these months talking about Big Cash returning to the company, and this is the pool of talent that he's taking issue with. Like, I don't understand. It feels like we just like inserted him into Monday Night Raw and into WWE instead of him being a big deal. It just, I don't know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. We found out backstage that Chad Gable, your current Intercontinental Champion, did want to kind of pay it forward for Rey Mysterio and AAA doing good work and obviously helping him out for the past year. He is going to give Rey Mysterio a Intercontinental title match. They didn't really clarify when it would be. I kind of got the vibe that it would be on AAA programming. So in the near future, you'll see Chad Gable versus Rey Mysterio on for the IC belt. Tag team match. The Judgment Day taking on Sol Ruca and a mystery partner of her choice. Wasn't really a mystery. It was Io Sky. And when I saw it live, I was very much like, nah, I'm happy to see Io, but like, that was it. Like, you spent the week saying like, hey, get a partner of your choice, and then it was Io. Even before the match, we had to squeeze our Danhausen segment in here. Danhausen says, hey, so Rucahausen, I'll do it for a discount. But Sol tells him that the spot is filled. And I don't know why we even need to do that. We just had to get our Danhausen segment on television. But Io Sky, Sol Ruca taking on Judgment Day. they would pick up the victory, and they looked very good in tag team action. So much so that they were practicing their high fives after the match. Sindel, what do you think? It feels like they might be making these two ladies a tag team, even judging by Lyra confronting both ladies after the match and saying, like, what makes you think that you're going to go after the title that I helped create, that I built? And I bet you feel so happy about yourself finding somebody that would be your friend and team with you. Lyra's doing great character work. I love the fact that she's talking in her interviews about going after the IC title still. And it's only a matter of time that she gets a match against Raquel. And I think Raquel is actually going to hold it for a long time. Sol stating that she wants in on the IC title belt. So keeping that prestige, keeping the division alive. I would like to see Ivy now in the division. And I don't know if Jordan Grace is still on SmackDown. I would love to see that too. But it felt like this was a kind of a bridge to making Sol and Io a tag team, which I don't know if I really like. I think it would help Sol acclimate more into the main roster. But for Io, it feels like such a downgrade, and I would just want Io to possibly go to SmackDown if she's not going to be considered in the upper echelon on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, very true. Where was Sol during the Io versus Liv title match? Yeah, Io comes to everybody's aid, but nobody comes to Io's aid. So I don't know. I want greener pastures for Io. I want Io to like get more and be really viewed like a top 5 performer in the company, male or female. But it just seems like Io is in like this weird space where we don't want to keep her on a belt, and she's good for the pop and the title match, but not the prize. And it's like, it's very weird. Very weird. I want to see Io get more. And if it means going to SmackDown, if it means going to a different brand for a period of time so she can get the respect she deserves, I want to see it. But like, I don't want to see her in a tag team. I think she's done that already, and it's not needed right now. We get to our main event, Solo Sikoa versus Jey Uso. And I think we all know what happened without giving away too much, guys. I think the writing was on the wall. There was nothing really that stood out to me about this match other than Solo doing a lot of callbacks of his dad. Like the clap on the side before the hip attack, the drop on the stop of in the middle of the ring to Jey as well. There were a lot of Rikishi callbacks in this match, and I wonder if that was because this is going to be Solo's last time for a while operating in a babyface capacity. Same thing happened in most of the other matches that you see with the Bloodline. Big Jim came out to kind of interfere, distract Solo just enough for Jey to hit a spear, hit a splash, 1, 2, 3. Solo is back in the Bloodline. Not as violent, I would say, as the match between Roman and Jacob. But after seeing Royce Keys get demolished last week, I don't think you can be as violent as that was in that main event. But now all eyes point on Monday Night Raw next week when Roman Reigns is going to be back in town, and it's going to be Acknowledgement Day, just like it was with Jacob. And Acknowledgement Day means Solo is back in the family. He lost to Jey. He's going to have to answer to Roman Reigns. This was not a Roman Reigns called play. Jey said he was going to do what Jacob could not do and bring Solo back to the family, and that's exactly what happened. And now eyes kind of turn to LA Knight, because there was a cryptic message from Solo earlier in the night where he says, like, hey, I know you don't need my help, but don't say I didn't warn you. It's not just you versus Roman. This is you versus the whole family. So maybe he was speaking in futuristic terms, saying like, hey, I know I might have to be with the family again, and that means I'm going to have to get you too. So that's where we're at. Through all LA Knight's paranoia, thinking that he was going to join the Luchador tournament, being told like, hey, it's just for Luchadors. And then Jacob walking up to LA Knight and saying like, hey, like, if Roman give me the green light, I'm a dog walk your ass. And that's where we're at. We're at what LA Knight was complaining about on the mic the past several weeks, that these bloodline shenanigans, it's the whole bloodline back together with the even greater enforcer than Solo Sikoa with Jacob Fatu and just LA Knight. He has no LIs. It was brought up to our attention that Royce Keys is out indefinitely. I think crushed larynx or something like that Michael Cole said. Um, but man, I do not know what to think about the trajectory of Monday Night Raw at the Bloodline now. Like, are we going to get Sammy back? Is Sammy going to get so pissed off with Nick Aldis that he goes back to Raw and now he's with the Bloodline? There's so many layers that we can go to with Monday Night Raw. And that's what makes the Braun Breaker, Obafemi side mission so interesting to me. And like, I don't know how long we're going to do that and what it means. Because the more interesting thing with me right now would be if Obafemi chose Roman Reigns, and now Roman Reigns has his whole army to throw at Oba, and he's just going through all of them to get to Roman. Eventually, we're going to probably get that. And it's like so much that we can do there. But no, that was not a flat ending. I think we needed a cool off period because last week was like brutal as hell with Jacob and Royce Keys. But from that 6-man tag, them losing that match, they've eliminated everybody but LA Knight. Solo's now back with the Bloodline. All the fun, happy-go-lucky Solo. I wonder if he'll be the silent enforcer again. Yes, he's back in the Roman Vortex. So you want some thoughts on the SmackDown Women's Division? And in what regard? Are we talking about Chelsea being the interim champion and now having a broken orbital bone? Or are we talking about the depth of the division? Like, what exactly in the division? Because if I'm being honest, the division is stacked. SmackDown Women's Division has a lot of mouths to feed, and not exactly every woman is featured on television now. You got Jade and her baddies. You got Fatal Influence. Rhea's going to be gone for the foreseeable future. Tiffy's in the mid card and has who's a challenger right now? It feels like JC's about to challenge for the title this Friday, and I feel like she might actually win it because Fatal Influence is getting pushed so hard right now. You still have Jordan Grace nowhere on television right now. And I don't know if the broken orbital bone is going to be meaning that Chelsea Green is going to relinquish that title, or if she's going to rock the dashing Cody Rhodes mask for a while and not actually compete. Don't know what it means. And it's still a very much not secret that Lola Vice is going to be on the Blue brand. So I don't know. Don't know what we're going to do, but there are a lot of women to feed on the SmackDown brand, whether you're in a faction or not, because there's probably some names I missed that aren't featured every single week. Blake Morosa hasn't even had a televised match yet. She didn't took out some people backstage left and right, but still hasn't had a televised match. So that's another woman who should be elevated almost instantly whenever they pull the trigger. So I'm interested how they're going to maneuver that around. I think SmackDown's back to being a 2-hour show for the time being, but I know it's moving back to 3. So once it moves back to 3, I think they'll have more space to tell all these stories. But they have to do something. I mean, the tag division is still primarily, for women's tag division, is still primarily on SmackDown. Julia is there. I mean, at this point, I feel like Julia should possibly be on Raw. Like, why not? There's just too many mouths to feed, and you currently still have call-ups pending as well. But the cool thing is now we have Monday Night Raw, we have NXT, we have to some extent TNA because NXT talent can go there. We have AAA Saturday nights. I didn't even remember. We have Evolve on Wednesday because we've seen Natalya and Evolve. We have SmackDown on Fridays. There's literally programming 6 days a week. So if we can just space things out, there's a space for every single superstar to kind of like find their foundation. But we got to make it meaningful. I don't know. I would like to see more specialty programming. It seems like main event on Wednesdays has become kind of a specialty program because you can see like the Creeds, you can see Kit Wilson, you can see Ivy Now, Jordan Grace has been wrestling there. But by specialty programming, I think that's why having the Speed Championship on Twitter was good, because it was its own section of wrestling where you can kind of see people who don't get on network television every single week. Stuff like that was important. And this is really just my TED Talk to bring back the Mixed Match Challenge on Facebook Watch. Let's just bring it back. Get the couples, get the awkward pairings. Let's just bring it back. I'll tune in every single week. But appreciate y'all rocking with me. That's been the Monday Night Mare for tonight. We will be back. I believe Kesh will be online tomorrow for the NXT watch along tomorrow night. I forget who's competing on NXT. We currently still boycotting Hickenbottom. But WWT Live will be back on Wednesday. We got your Timeless Elite Wednesday as well. The TNA watch along on Thursday along with Kayfabe, and your Honey Night SmackDown watch along on Friday along with WWT Live. You probably won't see me back in the seat until next Monday because the mayor is going to Atlanta tomorrow for the week. So wish me luck. Got some good stuff going on. Hopefully some new content and new intertwinings from the week ahead that I can bring to y'all in WWE Live soon. But wish everybody good night. Make sure you follow all these creators and all these dope things we have happening at Women's Wrestling Talk. And make sure you follow along with the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Peace out, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.